Hello, my name is Marta Thorpe, and I am currently an undergraduate student here at the University of Guelph. I would like to welcome you to the College of Business and Economics Convocation ceremony this afternoon. The University of Guelph is honored by our graduates, and we take great pride in this convocation. I'd like to tell you a little about the proceedings today. The ceremonials used for conferring degrees have evolved over a millennium, and the gowns and hoods represent that history. In general, the gowns for the baccalaureate and magistrate degrees are black, and the color of the hood is different for each degree program. The doctorates at the University of Guelph have a bright blue gown, and the honorary degrees are red. The University of Guelph crest that you see on the curtains behind me and shown on the cover of your convocation program also represent our specific history. The emblems in the crest show links with the royal city of Guelph through the white stallion above, the connection to the liberal arts through the book, to the sciences through the astrolabe, and our connection to abundance in agriculture through the cornucopia. The University of Guelph motto, Rerum cognoscere causas, is a quote from the Virgil. It is variously translated to be either happy is the one who is able to ascertain the reason of things, or perhaps to know the meaning of things. The procession of people into the hall are also influenced by ancient tradition. The piper will herald the start of the procession of graduands, the students who are coming to graduate today. This will be followed by the arrival of the mace leading the platform party. This will be followed by the arrival of the mace leading the platform party. The mace is a symbol of authority of this university and will be carried by the beadle. The mace is a symbol of authority of the university, and in medieval universities, it was the instructor who chose an assistant. Today, the beadle is the ceremonial officer of Senate. Following the beadle and the mace is the vice-chancellor and provost, members of administration and the honorees, fellows of the university, members of the board and senate, and members of faculty and staff. The degrees will be conferred in the order that you see in your program. The degrees are separated by categories representing the specific degree being awarded within the college. The name reader will represent scholars to the vice-chancellor by degree category. As the name of each student is called, the beadle will place the hood over the recipient's shoulders. This moment will be videoed, and technology willing, there will be a simultaneous live cast of the event to allow family members and friends to watch from a distance. The Vice-Chancellor will greet each student at center stage, and a photograph will be taken. We understand the joy and excitement accompanying such an auspicious occasion, but we ask that you hold your applause until after each group of graduates has crossed the stage. There will be an opportunity for a truly thunderous applause. Once all the degrees are conferred and all the cheers are cheered, the Vice-Chancellor will close the ceremony and a recessional will play. Please remain standing during the recessional until all of the platform party has processed out of the hall. Our colleagues from Alumni Affairs are hosting a social media program developed especially for convocation. Please share your photos, memories, and advice with the graduating students by joining us on social media using the hashtag #GuelphGrad. Finally, may I be the first person to congratulate the graduates on their various successes and offer my congratulations to the family and friends who are here to support them. Welcome to the convocation at the University of Guelph.
hatred love, in all our sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land, glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
We acknowledge the Attawandaron people on whose traditional territory the University of Guelph resides, and offer our respect to our Haudenosaunee, Anishinaabe, and Métis neighbors as we strengthen our relationships with them. We live in a country that values freedom, in a society that recognizes the dignity of every person. We live in a time of peace. We have been blessed. We have been given the opportunity to learn in a school that believes in excellence, by people of wisdom and compassion. We have been blessed. We have been supported by family, accompanied by friends, and challenged by the world around us to grow through our experiences. Let us enter this present moment with grateful hearts, mindful of what we have received, for we have a future filled with hope. We have been truly blessed. Amen.
Please be seated. Thank you. Members of the board, honorary fellows, and faculty of the university, family and friends, and graduates. Welcome to the celebration of Convocation at the University of Guelph. And let me also take this opportunity to extend a particular welcome to this afternoon's honorary degree recipient, Simon Whitfield, and he's going to be introduced to you formally in a moment. My name is Franco Vaccarino, and I have the honor and the privilege of serving as the President and Vice Chancellor of this great university. And I'm privileged today to welcome you all to Convocation. So as we begin our Convocation ceremonies, let me offer a few congratulatory remarks. First of all, graduates, it's your big day. You've worked hard, you've persevered, and you've made it. Well done and well deserved. So let me share with you a few thoughts as we enter into this, this ceremony. Graduation day is very much about transitions, moving from one thing or one state to another. It's one of a number of important transitions that in many ways you've already made. Last fall, I had the opportunity to welcome our first new first-year students at the University of Guelph, and I reminded them that besides being the incoming class of 2015, that they were also the graduating class of 2019. So it was really a moment of moving forward in time for them. So just for a moment, I'd like you to travel back a little bit in time to your own arrival here at the University of Guelph a few years ago. And remember how it felt to set foot on campus for the first time as new students. Sure, there was a mixture of excitement as well as anticipation and nervousness. Maybe confidence, hope, and fear all kind of bundled up together at the same time. Well, you figured it out. You explored the campus, you navigated through your classes and labs, finding friends and mentors, and maybe even discovering the wider Guelph community. And perhaps most importantly, you also discovered yourselves. It was a time of transition, going from what you were to what you would become, including, by the way, Griffins. So now it's time for your next transition, and maybe you'll feel a familiar mix of hope and optimism, together with some trepidation and even uncertainty. And I would suggest that you think back over the past few years of your studies here in Guelph. You leave us today having gained a body of knowledge in your field and having had a chance to study and work with renowned teachers and researchers. As part of a learning-centered and research-intensive university, you've witnessed breakthroughs in scholarship and research here at the university. And you've also been part of a diverse, welcoming community that is very much open to differing opinions and shared learning and discovery. And I would suggest that what's also happened during your time here goes beyond the learning of subject matter strictly. An important part of our mission as a university has been to provide you with the tools to successfully adapt and to navigate through the complexities and the dynamics of a modern society. You think about it, in our fast-paced world, the gap has narrowed between knowledge generation and knowledge application. New ideas become new products at an unprecedented pace. Information and communications technology, and I would say also the related democratization of learning and knowledge, the fact that we have such access to information and knowledge, has really become a game changer. Effectively, the distance between today and tomorrow has narrowed, and it's narrowed dramatically. And that presents challenges, and it also presents great opportunities for all of us. A key challenge with change and transition is uncertainty, the uneasiness of uncertainty, the very thing you may be feeling or facing right now. And it is in some ways a challenge, but it's also a wonderful opportunity. And the opportunity related to uncertainty lies in what I like to call the upside of uncertainty, taking uncertainty and change and adapting to it in a healthy way and turning it into something special, turning it into an opportunity. Here on campus, it means that our researchers and scholars anticipate problems and opportunities, and they develop solutions, including, I would say, solutions to problems that don't even exist yet. For you graduates, it means getting the job done, and getting it done well, and all the while doing it while also being future thinkers. Here at the University of Guelph, we've tried to help you learn to adapt to, and I would say also indeed to thrive in, tomorrow's ever-changing world. We've looked to provide you not just with a curriculum, but also with the life skills or tools for your lifelong survival kit. So today you face a new transition. Some of you will continue to grad school, others will enter the working world, still others will travel, or otherwise take time to ponder your next steps. Whatever your next move here at Guelph, remember that we have provided you with the analytical and the qualitative skills you need to look beyond the world today. You've learned, I hope, about adaptation and creativity. In effect, and in many ways, you've learned how to learn, learning to learn. And that's a good thing, especially in today's world. As you leave behind the formal classroom and labs, your learning doesn't end today. In a sense, it really is just beginning. It's about lifelong learning, the process of learning and adapting and readapting constantly through your entire lives, through your careers, and over your lifetime. It's about turning knowledge into action. So you've spent the past few years as part of the university community, and I do hope that you've also had a chance to learn how you fit into that wider community. Taking that wider view of the world around us will be essential for you in today's and tomorrow's world. Over the years, you will bring together different perspectives, blend knowledge and ideas from different disciplines, and bring all this to bear in innovative and exciting ways on issues and challenges and opportunities that you'll encounter. In many ways, that's what I mean when we talk knowledge in action, taking your knowledge, taking what you learn and applying it and making it real in your lives. And that's also about finding the upside of uncertainty. So as you enter this exciting next stage of your lives, I encourage you to draw upon all of your University of Guelph experiences as learners and as members of a very special community, and to bring the very best you have to offer to every one of those experiences. Embrace those opportunities. Take pride in your achievements, and look to create your own opportunities, opportunities that will shape your future, opportunities to redefine who we are and to see the future through a broader and more interesting lens. Remember that universities are among the few places in society where a large part of our purpose is to foster ideas and innovation, and fundamentally to dream, to inspire, and to hope. That's what universities are about. That's exciting, that's bold, and it's imaginative. So I encourage you all to find ways to take what you've learned here, to engage with, and truly make a difference in your world, in our world. And one more thing, as I mentioned earlier, and this one is at least for certain, and that is that once a Griffin, always a Griffin. So well done, congratulations. Thank you.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, on the recommendation of the Senate of the University of Guelph, it is my great privilege to present to you Simon Whitfield for the degree Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. Simon Whitfield is an entrepreneur, community builder, mentor, and one of Canada's most accomplished and decorated athletes. In the year 2000, Simon fulfilled his dream of competing in the triathlon at the Sydney Olympics, and he inspired a nation along the way. True to the game's motto, share the spirit, dare to dream, during the last leg, a 10-kilometer run, Simon passed 24 competitors to win Olympic gold. Becoming the world's first ever triathlon gold medalist. 8 years later, he displayed the same grit and perseverance, fighting his way to a silver medal in Beijing. These accomplishments have earned him broad recognition as one of Canada's greatest Olympians. Since retiring, Simon has revealed his entrepreneurial spirit, taking his passion for sport to the business world and embarking on several new ventures. This includes co-founding Relentless Pursuit Partners, an investment and consulting firm that provides business development services for new ventures in health technology, sports, fitness, and nutrition. Simon has also been involved with many provincial and Canadian nonprofit organizations. Currently, he is an ambassador for the Canadian Men's Health Foundation and Kids Sport, where he is known as a generous and committed mentor who readily shares his knowledge and his experience with others, whether they are aspiring athletes or young children with big dreams of their own. Simon's message is compelling. The pursuit of excellence is its own reward. Set a high bar and drive towards it. For these reasons, Simon Whitfield is most deserving of an honorary degree from the University of Guelph. I now ask you, Mr. Vice-Chancellor, to confer upon Simon Whitfield the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
By the authority of the Senate of the University of Guelph, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Laws. Congratulations. And now I am pleased to invite Dr. Simon Whitfield to now give the convocation address.
Oh, there you are, Dr. Simon Whitfield. I just let that ring for a second. I'm not sure that I thought that would ever happen. I have many moments where I think, how did I get here? I referred to the one today at lunch, how did I get here? And I am definitely having one of those moments now. I have a fun little ranking in my head of these how did I get here moments. I had the honor of having lunch with the Queen of England, and I sat there and I thought, how did I get here and why did they give this permission? I had lunch with Sir Edmund Hillary in 2001, and now I'm here. And my parents will recall 20 years ago a certain phone call that was made from a phone booth before cell phones from Australia, from Sydney, Australia, from the University of New South Wales, where I informed my wonderful parents, Jeff and Linda here in the front row, that I was going to defer university and move off to go race in France. And I cautioned, I held back from the phone to think, here we go, we're going to hear it. And my parents both unconditionally said, we support you. And that was an overwhelming theme through my sister Kate and my childhood, was an unconditional and unwavering support for whatever dream my sister and I had. And I hope you can relate to that as you sit there with your parents, you sit there with your loved ones, that this unconditional support, it frees you to express yourself in such wonderful ways. It frees you to express yourself through hard work and without a focus so much on what this final outcome will be, and the tribute to the journey being so important, to what can we learn, and embracing that with this will come struggle, will come adversity. And with that struggle and adversity, you will find the texture and depth that will come with that experience and gives you a wonderful experience in your own life. It gives you experience to give unto others, as we find that not only giving unto ourselves, but giving unto others is so important. And it's a piece that I very much embrace. And to be acknowledged for that today is something very special. When I was asked if I would give the convocation speech, I immediately did what I always do when asked to do something. I go paddling. I paddled off Pender Island on Vancouver Island. I paddled off towards Active Pass. And I sat at the junction between the Trimcombe Channel and the Harrow Strait, and I had a wonderful day where it was just absolutely glass, and I got to sit on my board, and I had the timing of the BC Ferry down pat, so I knew it wasn't going to come run me over. And I sat through and I thought about that phone call many years ago that where I said to my parents that, you know, I'm going to defer university until Guelph gives me a degree. And I thought through, well, what do you say? What do you say in an event like this? And I sat with it, and I sat with it. And I thought, well, I guess I would give myself the best quotes that I heard from not only my parents, but from special people in my life that were able to embark a knowledge to me that I hope that I can share with you. Coincidentally, or as fate would have it, one of those coaches is here at the university, Dave Scott Thomas. Dave Scott Thomas ran the well-named Quack Club out of Queen's University, and I was its first member in 1991 as a 15-year-old. I showed up at Richardson Stadium, and Dave Scott Thomas taught me very quickly the difference between thinking and wanting to do something and that internal need to do something. Dave Scott Thomas helped me embark on this realization that as we commune in silence together in sport, we find common enterprise in something very special. And as you move past a university degree where everything has been in a certain ritual, in a certain routine, and a lot of that routine revolves around that deep contemplation of a problem. Well, how will I find my way through this? I encourage you, as I have had to do myself, is find that ritual of routine around contemplation. As Dave said, that silent communion with others, there's great power in this as we share in something together. And Dave understood that for sport. He understood that coming together, working together in a space where you're all focused and contemplating that common goal is very important. And as we move past, and I've been in my own transition from the last 4 years away from sport into what's next, finding time for that contemplation, as Dave would say, that silent communion with yourself is very important. I thought of the next person I thought of was my wonderful mom, Linda. The common theme from mom to my sister and I was always pay attention to your inner narrative, your inner dialogue being so important. And my mom would always, if I was embarking on something where I was saying, oh, you know, this is happening and that's happening, mom would always pull me back to say, careful that internal narrative. She would give me a choice between being an intrepid, inquisitive, benevolent wise man or a critical, ruthless pessimist. Which one do you think gives better advice, gives better counsel and contemplation? I'll go with the intrepid, inquisitive, benevolent wise man. As is we think, we become, this being the eternal mystery. As is you think, as what you think about, how you refer to yourself, how you, that internal narrative, where it is that your mind goes when in a situation of struggle, when you're in a situation of stress. Do you embrace it? Do you find the positive? Are you benevolent? Are you open-hearted? Or do you come down on yourself? Do you expect, do you fear the worst? Are you afraid of failure? I felt that during my career, as I was around other athletes, I could really tell the difference between those athletes that embraced a challenge and those who were afraid of failure. I was afraid of not giving of myself the full effort that would find in it the success I was looking for. I was never afraid of failure. My dad had this truly wonderful expression that my dad would pull me aside and he would say, "Don't try and get rid of those butterflies, just make them fly in formation." I love this. It's a simple thing. It's a playful thing. It's a thing that a kid can really grasp onto in a very, very young age. And I have 2 young daughters. I have an 8-year-old daughter named Pippa and then a 5-year-old Evelyn. And they know this expression intimately. Don't get rid of the butterflies, just make them fly in formation. Dad was giving me permission to use that nervousness as energy, to use that energy to drive me forward. Dad was giving me permission to not be afraid, to not say that to expect a failure, but to expect success and trust in my own self-efficacy that I could rely on myself to come forward. You all know about this. You have this self-efficacy. You have this eternal belief that got you to where you are and it will carry you forward. Don't try and get rid of the butterflies, just make them fly in formation. My parents gave me this wonderful freedom too, because they gave me this understanding that when I came home from a race, they would never say to me, "How did you do?" They would say, "How did you give a great effort?" This left me unencumbered by the fear of the results and more immersed in this energy, in this commitment to excellence that came through hard work. I spoke to a hockey player recently, and he said that every day, before every game, he would listen to "Old Man, Look at Me Now." He was driven by this fear of his dad, by this fear of what could happen if he failed. "Look at me, I'm proving to you." And I felt honored, I felt privileged that Dad gave me permission to express myself in sport through hard work. My parents gave me this wonderful expression of it as an art, not as a final destination, but as a journey. And the hockey player said to me that the day he stopped doing that, he started scoring more goals. He released himself from that tension, from that pressure, from that fear of failure to embracing success. My dad and I had a wonderful, my favorite moment with my dad was, it was at the Beijing Olympics. And I crossed the line in 2nd place. I got a silver medal. And I had that initial feeling of like, what just happened? I just about won. I could have had another Olympic gold. And I look over and I'm struggling with them. I'm in this momentary struggle and I look over and there's my dad hanging over the sideline. And I come over for the hug and he says, "Bloody brilliant." He's an Aussie, so he's bloody brilliant. And he says, "You've just learned the poetry of sport." And I said, "Okay." And Dad said, 8 years ago, you ran down a German who went on to inspire a young German who 8 years later got you back. Welcome to the poetry of sport. That wonderful moment released his son from any burden of wondering what could have been to just celebrate what is. And I'll leave you with that. There's a wonderful Leonard Cohen quote that says, "Ring the bells that still can ring. Ring the bells that still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There's a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in." Don't compare yourself. Ring the bells that still can ring. Do not compare to what could have been, what should have been, what was. Be in the present, be in the moment. That poetry of sport, Dad, let me embrace that moment. Let me embrace something that happened and let me find the joy in it, the poetry of sport. And now I look for that in everything. I look for the poetry in everything. I'm not looking for the success, for the markers of a position. I'm looking for what the poetry was in it. What's the theater? What was the wonderful story here? The second part of that is there's a crack in everything. That's where the light gets in. And I'll leave you with that. Be vulnerable. You embark on this next chapter, and I know all about this. You embark on this next chapter and you feel like you have to be perfect. You have to embark on it with everything pushed forward. You have to show your brightest side. But as I look through my Olympic career, the trend is overwhelmingly there, that when I embraced others, when I sat in that communion with others and I involved them and empowered them, when everyone understood their role and we all played as a team, I found success. And when I assigned roles, when I was when I orchestrated, when I stood over top of people and said, just do your job, it didn't happen. Empower others and by being vulnerable. I like the expression, and it's my own. In comparison, we lose sight. Life is perfect as it is what it is. Congratulations on your journey. Congratulations on this. We get to wear these beautiful robes. And thank you so much for having me. You fulfilled a 20-year-old dream of finally having a degree.
Those were wonderful words from Dr. Whitfield. I don't know about you, but I took away 3 messages. Seems very fitting. Think higher thoughts. Be stronger in ourselves. Be faster in achieving our potential. 3 messages, 3 sets of words that are truly golden from a truly golden individual. Thank you for joining our team. Welcome to the Griffin team. And now the moment that you've been waiting for. Will the graduating class please rise? Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you these scholars who have fulfilled the statutory requirements laid down by the Senate of the University of Guelph, that they may be admitted to their various and several degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me and in the University of Guelph, I hereby accept you for admission to your various and several degrees with all the rights, privileges, and obligations appertaining thereto.
Will the members of the graduating class please be seated?
Good afternoon, graduates. Oh, it's not working.
Good afternoon, graduates and proud friends of the graduates. I'm sure you'll be excited, perhaps a little relieved, certainly happy to see your graduate walk across the stage and be greeted by the Chancellor. And you may want to express your emotions in some audible manner. This is fine. Please go ahead. But may we ask the general audience to hold your collective applause until after the presentation of each of the degree programs, and we will give you the key. Mr. Vice Chancellor.
Anthony, hold on a second. I think we've got the microphones reversed, so mine's supposed to go off and his should go on, whoever's controlling it. Sorry, I don't want to.
Micromanage? Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Business and Economics, that they may be admitted to the degree Master of Arts, Leadership. Chirag Bhatt. Deborah Ellen Bobechko. Jessica Brain. Colleen Fawcett. Brett Flynn. Sandra Freeman. Carolyn Noreen Gravel. Travis Allen James. Sean Koshandish. Judith Ann LaBelle. Sylvie Lavictoire. Cara Elizabeth Letherland McFarlane. Shannon Matheson. Marcia Lynn McFarlane. Colleen Myronic. Sarah Riley. Andrea Seal. Jane Snyder. Emma Jane Steele. Leanne Tremaine. Gregory Douglas White. Robert George Wooden. Please join me in congratulating our Master of Arts Leadership graduates. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Business and Economics that they may be admitted to the degree Master of Business Administration. Jason Willis Michael Kelly. Susan Marie Shaw. Please join me in congratulating our MBA graduates. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Business and Economics that they may be admitted to the degree Master of Science. Mohammed Kurbek. Brittany Manley. Saba Merchant. Chanel Chin. Please join me in congratulating our Master of Science graduates.
Mr. Vice Chancellor, as Dean of the College of Business and Economics, I have the honor to present to you these scholars that they may be admitted to the degree Bachelor of Commerce Honors Program. Scott Alexander Adkin. Yusra Arshad. Okay, got it. There you go. Please. Bax Awan. Lisa Bang with distinction. Alicia Bianca Besley. LeVar Sergio Brewster. Camille Burkhart. Kevin Crawford Burton. Matthew Braden Cameron. Nicole Elizabeth Carney with distinction. Esther Lucille Carter. Amanda Chang. Michael Charbonneau. Oh, another one. How'd that happen? Michael James Charbonneau. Dee Chen. Graham Ronald Clayton. Michael Anthony Colachidi. Zeno Costi. Christopher Valentino Cremasco. Wee Wen Tui. Michelle Kathleen Damfoos. Courtney Marie Daniels. Mina Fanus. Henry Fothergill. Mark Godet de Lestard. Yasiro Randika Gigana. Mahmoud Ganam. Francisco Graterol. Zachary Ty Henderson. James Douglas Ingram. Cassandra Ann Ironside. Joseph Kaminsky. Just wait 1 second. There you go. Kevin Patrick Kent. Blair Christopher Lasby. Clark Alexander Lawson. Constantine Dean Lazarus. Paul Robert Lennox. Mark Robert Lennox. Wen Long Ling. Chu Liu with distinction. Congratulations. Rawlings Malunga. Got it. Rawlings Malunga. Ian David McCormack. Amber Rose Miller. Hamali Mystery with distinction. Max Moffat. Isabella Montoya. Kieran Stephen Murphy. Hazeline Gail Nunez. Brittany Michelle Nealon. Christopher Besherbsky. John Robert Pomikach. Renata Pukar. Giuliano Rashiro. Michael Taylor Ravenhorst. Brian William Schenk. Melissa Schroeder. That's kind of. Sarah Salim. Lakin Sharma. Teresa Tong Lin Shen. Christina Rose Sorbara with distinction. Ryan Lee Speakman. Andrea Marlene Spear. Momina Zara Sambal. Brendan Richard Tatters. Philip True. Wendy Trong. Michael Ulrich. Spencer Raymond Vandenheed. Donald Austin Weldon. Kyle Peter Westwater. Luke Roger Townley Williams. Zilin U. Jung Si In. Jing Yu. Please join me in congratulating these scholars.
Mr. Vice Chancellor, as Director of the School of Hospitality, Food and Tourism Management, I have the honor to present to you these scholars that they may be admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce Honors Program. Sarah Ann Ball. Kelsey DeVecchio. Angela Ruth Elsasser with distinction. Terry Knowles. Alexandra Christian Mangiarelli. Erin Elizabeth McMahon. Michelle Mirzwa. Kaluk O. Mi Tian. Nicole Tome. Ying Chan. Tiehu Chao. Please join me in congratulating these scholars.
Mr. Vice Chancellor, I would ask you to confer the various and several degrees on the graduates listed in the program, but unable to be present at this ceremony.
By virtue of the authority vested in me and in the University of Guelph, I confer the various and several degrees in absentia on the graduates not present. Thank you. Well, graduates, you did it. Well done. Congratulations. I got to tell you, this is the best part of my job right here. Well, welcome all of you now to the Griffin alumni family, a growing family. This week brings almost 1,000 new graduates crossing the convocation stage to join Griffin alumni. And you should know that those alumni actually number more than 100,000 graduates around the world. We're all very proud of your accomplishments here at the University of Guelph and really do look forward to seeing how the foundations that you have developed here as a student will support you and continue to support you in the years to come. We want to celebrate your achievements and successes and really do hope that you'll stay in touch with us. Remember that you're always welcome here, and you'll be hearing more and more about activities that continue in the months and years ahead as alumni, and we hope you stay connected. Graduates, you've made memories here, including today's ceremony, and remember this as well. You're a student for a short time, but you're a Griffin forever. So there it goes. So this concludes our formal convocation ceremony, and I will mention that following the ceremony, Dr. Julia Christensen Hughes, the Dean of our College of Business and Economics, will host a reception for all graduates and their guests in Creelman Hall, just behind us. This really is an opportunity to congratulate the graduates, and we very much hope that you can attend. Now, just a couple of orders of business, graduates. Once you've taken all your photographs, there may be a tendency to go straight out to wherever you're going, but if you could drop off actually your gowns and hoods, either downstairs when you collect your belongings or at the reception in Creelman Hall, that would be much appreciated. One more note, and this is actually a research note, and this kind of thing only happens in university. There's a class project. One of the courses is doing a project on campus, and several students are actually conducting, as part of that program, they're conducting a short survey on your convocation experience. So if you could please take a moment to share your thoughts with us. The students will be available at the reception to record your feedback, or if you prefer to participate when you return home, you'll find a bookmark with a link to the survey in your convocation program. We are hosting actually 6 convocation ceremonies this week, and waiting outside is the next group of families eager to see their graduates cross the stage. Actually, that's not really true, because this is the last one today, but that's what my script says, so I'm coming clean with a group here. There's actually not another group here. But regardless, as we move into this next part for you, as you're leaving the hall, if you could please exit the doors on my right and left, that would be appreciated. And so thank you again for your cooperation. Once again, congratulations. And part of the official tradition and ceremony here is that today, in my role, I have the tradition and get to say the last words. And the last words are, convocation is dismissed. Well done. Congratulations.